Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. In this video we're going to talk about a little bit of a different type of game. Instead of a regular role-playing game, we're going to talk about a tabletop miniatures game. And this miniatures game is based off a rock band called Gwar. If you don't know who Gwar is, imagine, if you will, barbarians from outer space that are exiled to Earth and are now addicted to crack cocaine and playing heavy metal music while they kill everybody in sight while committing every debauched act this planet has to offer. And that pretty much sums them up. That's why I'm kind of a Gwar fan. But anyway, we're going to talk about Gwar, Rumble in Antarctica miniatures game. This book has 108 pages and a copyright of 1999. It was published by Demon Blade Games. The artwork in this book is all in black and white, and some of it is even drawn by members of the band, including the late great Dave Brocky. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. The artwork does a good job of showing just how gruesome Gwar can be. Even some of their more classic villains find representation in this book. The artwork is a bit comic booky, but that's just part of all the fun. To play this game, what you're going to need is a copy of this core book, a pretty nice sized place to play, a tape measure, and some miniatures. Now, they made miniatures for this game, but they're no longer in production, and these days those miniatures go for quite the hefty price. So, you might, unless you're willing to pay the prices that people are asking for them, then you might use some different miniatures, which is acceptable. But anyway, you have several different types of units in this game to place on the board. You have your goons, which are just kind of minions and underlings. You have elite goons, which are much better goons. You have your specials, which are pretty much special characters that can move out by themselves without a group and do things on their own. And then you have characters, and the characters are pretty much specials, but they are named characters from the band and their extended universe, so to speak, such as their enemies and allies and so forth. Then you have light, medium, and heavy monsters and vehicles. And those are the units used in this game, which is kind of nifty. Each unit has its own stats, and at the beginning of gameplay, you can play with either 2 to 6 players, but at the beginning of gameplay, everybody decides on how many points they're going to use to spend on their units. And the book recommends about 2,500. And those points are spent on different aspects of your units. There are the figure type, which is the type of unit it is, and those cost a certain amount of points. When you buy an elite goon member, you have to have at least 3 goons to go with them. And that's a rule in the book. But after that, you have your movement, which tells you how many spaces and inches that a unit can move in its turn. And when it moves, you just take the tape measure out so many inches compared to its move, and that's how far you can move, but in any direction. Then you have your mental, which is the character's intelligence. And then you have your control radius. The control radius tells you how close the goons have to be for him to keep control of them. Then you have your weapon slot allowance, which is broken up into smaller pieces, such as area effect, range, attack value, and area effect. Now, the way this works is you get so many points called renown points to buy your characters and your specials. And after you buy all the stuff for them, whatever's left over goes to a pool called force points. And you also have other force points to start with. And you just add whatever's left from your renown to your force points. And that's what you use to buy your goons and such. And that's pretty simple. The basic rules for this game are you roll 6-sided dice, and each of your attack stats and your defense stats will be listed as either 5K, 4, or whatever. The 5 meaning that's how many dice you roll. The K stands for keep, and the 4 tells you how many dice you keep. So you roll 5 dice, keep 4 of them, usually the 4 highest. And the defense, and let's say you got defense of 3K2, so you'd roll 3 defense dice, and you keep 2. And once you roll these, you subtract the defense from the attack number. And if anything's left over, that's how much damage is done to the unit. Which is pretty simple. There are also some special abilities that you can buy in character creation. And you're generating your units. And these special abilities can both hinder and help your character do different things in the game. There is some pre-generated characters and units in the back of this book, mainly Gwar themselves and their slaves, some rednecks, some National Guardsmen, and other stuff. And instead of building your own units, you can purchase those for the cost listed with them, which is nifty. Saves some time. There is a chapter here devoted to the history of Gwar, which gives you a pretty good history of the band up to this point in 1999. They've obviously had some changes since then. And to win this game, basically you just eliminate the other opponents. Or you can settle on an objective before the game plays, and whoever reaches that objective first wins, however you wish to play it. All in all, it's pretty simple. I've got no history with tabletop miniature games. Never really got into it. But, you know, that seems simple enough. So it brings me to 3 questions. Would I play this game? Absolutely. Like I said, I'm a Gwar fan, and the fact that they have a game is enough to make me want to play it. What Gwar song would I listen to while playing this game? All of them. Maybe even at the same time. Would I recommend this game? If you're a Gwar fan and interested in a miniatures game, absolutely. You should check this game out. Even if you don't know who Gwar is, this game would be worth checking out. The rules are very simple and straightforward. And from what I understand, it's even compatible with the other games that this company put out, which is nifty. And that's pretty much all I got to say for this game right now. Gwar would probably call me a D&D playing high school flunky, which I graduated high school, but they'd still call me that. Anyway, thank you for joining me at a look at this game. And hopefully you'll join me next time, where we'll talk about something else. Bye.